Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another week. It's the 11th of January, and it's the start of my live videos 3 times a week. I was doing them daily from March last year, then we reduced it to 3 times a week, and then latterly, just before Christmas, to 1 day a week. On a Wednesday, and at popular request they said, with all the anxieties and everything around, could you do them more? So I'm doing them on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 o'clock on the live video through Facebook. Anyways, no one sent me a message for a title. I decided to just name the live video myself, and I called it Mindful Monday. I know I've talked about this before, early last year, and it's as relevant today as it was then, even more so. Many are still feeling anxious, stressed, depressed, overwhelmed, bored, everything due to these challenging times, and it seems to just be going on. And this can be through the loss of jobs, no work, loss of loved ones, working from home, helping children with schoolwork, living in confined spaces, etc, etc, etc. So even the news of vaccine, that elated people for a while, but then that's tinged with negativity, with people going, should we have it, should we not? There are different types. What are the different types? It's all causing confusion and anxiety. So what do we do about it? Well, we forget things that we can't control. Hi Liz, glad to see you this morning. Bring them on camera, whatever that means. And you need to focus on what you can control, and that's how you view a situation, and just think of your own resources, how you can deal with your own stresses and anxieties. I mean, these times are having different effects, 2 of which are our minds are racing or our minds have gone numb. So you've got the 2 sides of the coin. No matter what your mind is doing, you need to think about your mind, and if negative thoughts come into it, you need to get rid of these. You need to find clarity for yourself, and I've talked in previous videos on finding your passion and your purpose. Well, finding clarity for yourself, you can do this by being mindful. Now, there's much talk about being mindful, but it's not as easy as it sounds, but you can learn to do it. It's challenging because it means paying attention, being aware of not just everything around you, but all the daily activities that you do automatically. And of course, I'm going to give some tips, and the tips that I've done, it's like a broken record, but they're important tips. They're psychologically effective. And if I've talked about them over the last year, and one of the ones that's quite important during these times, and some people saying, well, I'm bored, I'm not doing anything. But actually, one of the tips is to slow down. It's slowing down your mind. So even when you're eating your food, it sounds ridiculous, this, but you might remember, I was told, I suppose at school, if you had school meals, you were rushing through your meals, and you were always told when you got home, stop rushing, take 40 chews to every bite. Well, I'm not suggesting that, but this is all really about being mindful. So if you're eating, just don't rush your food. Take each bite slowly, and you'll actually get more pleasure out of it, and you'll enjoy your food more. Another tip for slowing down is use my FA or SA. Now, use my FA. I'm not talking about F, the horrible word. I'm talking about focus attention, not some attention. And being mindful means being in the present moment. And I use my FA, and this is like focusing on what you're doing at that time. So you want to be in this FA mode at all times, no matter what you're doing. So it stops your mind from racing on all sorts of things. Now, to find out if you are focusing your attention on things, or you're all over the place, you've got some attention, ask yourself this question. What do you think about when you're doing everyday things? When you're eating your food, washing the dishes, brushing your teeth, anything, simple tasks that you kind of automatically do, taking a bath, having a shower. Now, probably many of you will be thinking about what you're going to do that day, how many tasks you have to do, what work you have to do, I have to take the children, what have I to do? And it's just going round and round. You've got kids to entertain, food to cook, so on and so on. That's giving some attention to everything. So how do you become this FA person? And Liz, I think a few of you have been saying, and I've had messages on this, that people are feeling blue, they're feeling bored, they're feeling frightened still, and you really need to I'm hoping these live videos inspire and motivate, because we can't be upbeat all the time, but you can do some things about it. So one of the sort of exercises to focus attention is, next time you brush your teeth, which everybody does twice a day, maybe more, take a moment to think about the smell of the toothpaste, the taste, the buzz of the electric toothbrush if you've got one, the taste on your teeth or your tongue. When you're eating, take a moment to look at the food. Smell the food before tasting it. Now, there is scientific research on this. I think it was Dana Small. She's a neuroscientist at Yale School of Medicine, and she found that the look and the smell influence your taste of food. So in short, the message is slow down. Another tip is use your achievement and inspiration board. I do hope you've got this. I set up one 16 years ago. I still have it. You don't need to write on it. You can cut out images from magazines or, anything at all. Draw, do whatever you want. It's your board and little things you've achieved. It doesn't need to be something huge, little things. If you've got a pet, if you've got dogs, these inspire, they give unconditional love. Cut a photo out of them and put them there just to remind yourself about how marvellous they are. So I hope you've created your board, and if not, do it now. If you've got one, keep adding to it. Put it somewhere you can look at it. So if you've got an office or a desk or the kitchen or, the fridge, anywhere, and you've got a clear picture of what brings you positivity and what brings you positive energy. The tips on how to be mindful, and I know, again, it's like a broken record, but I designed these so that they're easy to use. Use my ABC. Now, the A is for affirmations, and you just need to sit for a second or two, and in your head, if you're alone, you can say it out loud. Say, I am mindful. I focus positively. I concentrate. Any of these positive statements. And of course, B, the breathing deeply. It's effective breathing. And you need to, I talked about that, I think, on Friday. The way you should breathe is vitally important. And I do have Mind Bite meditation videos on this. So you need to, most of us shallow breathe, the shoulders going up and down. That's not the correct effective breathing. Effective breathing calms, relaxes, but also energizes you. And then, of course, my C is creatively using your imagination. Creativity is absolutely vital because it makes you resilient. So, it just, for the best possible outcome for whatever you're doing, visualize that best possible outcome. Creativity is just wonderful. And I'll do my safe place at the end. Now, these, when you're doing my ABC, also gives you time and space. And it's just, it gives you time and space for wonderful memories. Lots of us have lost loved ones, and you don't want to go down that road of thinking sad all the time. Now, we need to release our negative emotions, that's fine. But just remember that, try and focus on the wonderful memories you had. Especially if there's children, try and get them thinking positively about things. They're challenging times, so you have to focus on positive things so that the children in the future can look back on happy memories, not this negative and how awful it was day in, day out. So you need to try and create that happy atmosphere. Now, that can be really difficult because you're going to try, and I suggest you try and turn education into positive opportunities. And these are opportunities for children to learn about life. It doesn't always have to be about every subject and focusing on the minutiae of the subject. They can be learning about life. Of course, whether you have children or you're living alone, focus on creating your own positive, happy atmosphere. And of course, if you're living with someone, no matter how good the relationship is, you will get on each other's nerves. You will feel down at some point, and when you're down, they might be upbeat. If at any time there's any negativity, I've said before, go to the little room, the bathroom, just sit for a minute and just breathe in deeply, just into the count of 3, hold and release for the count of 3. It gives you time out, and just take yourself off to where you feel safe and secure, and my meditation at the end will help you do that. Clear the clutter, clear clutter round about you. Now, I know we all had good intentions of, even in the first lockdown in March, I'll have so many things to do. And I think there was almost an excitement in that earlier lockdown where you thought, this is giving me time to do lots of things. And I would say, hands up, who has not completed all of these? I had good intentions. Yes, I started. So maybe start again and think, right, it's like, you probably had too much on your list, because when you think I've got to do everything, you get overwhelmed. So try and slow down and think, well, I could clear a drawer out. I could just, maybe hoover or vacuum or dust that one area. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. But it helps you dust off your kind of negative energy and take time to use your imagination. Take a moment just now, and sounds absolutely ridiculous, but try it just now. Focus on your feet. Just think about your feet. Now, lots of people say, I've got horrible feet and whatnot. I just mean nobody needs to be seeing your feet. They'll be in shoes or slippers. Focus on your feet. And I want you to even if you're wearing shoes, you can do this. I just want you to focus on each toe. Just wiggle each toe. That's all you're thinking about. Your big toe, your little, just wiggle your toes. While you're concentrating on this, you really shouldn't or can't focus on something else. So it's a simple exercise. If you're thinking, my mind starts racing, just think, there's my toes. I can feel that big toe, that little toe. Just wiggle them. So it helps you clear your mind. Some see the mindfulness, obviously it is clearing the mind, and that's very challenging. I don't know about you, but if I'm told there's wet paint, don't touch it, I want to touch it. It's kind of, to me, it's like human nature. I need to want to touch it to see if it's wet. It's a bit the same about mindfulness. If I say to you, right, we're all going to sit now and we want to clear our minds. Now, immediately I say that, I bet you're thinking, if I stop talking, we just sat, clear our minds, I bet you start thinking, I've got that to do, this to do, what can I do? So you start your mind racing. So it's just, I think it's just sometimes, if people have said to me, clear your mind, it gets so full of stuff, I think it's going to explode. So what do I do? And what you should do, just use my ABC. Use the breathing. The B is so effective for this. If you're really thinking of every breath in, holding it, and every breath out, you can't focus on anything else. And of course, say your affirmation. I focus. I focus. It really helps your mind from wandering. And you can do all these. Imagine, like, if you're in a traffic jam or you're in a queue in the supermarket. And I think people are now, they're becoming more impatient and more frustrated. And, you maybe got children, you maybe get 3 children around the table, and one's at primary school, 2 are at secondary school, one's doing science, one's doing maths, one's doing, you just start to get frustrated. So you need to, you're trying to explain their homework and you can't. So you can immediately diffuse that frustration by using the B. The B is the most effective thing. And it's just absolutely fabulous, this deep breathing. That is being mindful. And of course, they're proven psychological techniques, and you're silencing your mind. There's nothing better. Our minds are, well, a tip I give, of course, is not to constantly watch the negative news. I do try and listen to the news, keep myself up to date, but I can find myself getting into real depression and thinking, oh, not more. We're hearing about deaths. We're hearing about hospitals being overwhelmed. Everything is overwhelming. And I need to take myself back and try and think, well, I need to keep myself safe as well as others. But more than that, you have to keep yourself psychologically safe. This isolation is affecting everybody. And I know it's affected me as well. And I've had days where I think, can we go through this again? And then I have to take myself back and I just do my breathing, my ABC. So the breathing, I think a few people have said to me, I think I'm doing it wrong. I'm not really sure. So what I want you to do just now, and I'm not watching you and you're not really seeing me. I'm not going to stand up and show you, but put your hand on your tummy, on your diaphragm area, and feel what you're doing when you're breathing. Now, if you all do it just now, put your hand on your tummy area, and when you breathe in, what's your hand doing? Now, your hand, when you breathe in, should be going out. So as I breathe in, my hand has gone out. Now, that's deep breathing. It's a kind of short explanation, but that helps you understand what's going on. Now, if you do this when you're breathing and your tummy on your hand on the tummy, this is linking your mind and your body. And if you practice this daily and it becomes a good habit, then you're kind of managing to control your mind and your body. Often your body is somewhere and your mind is somewhere else, and you need to try and link these. In fact, a sort of wee story here, but have you ever been with someone and although your body is present and you're with them, you know that their mind is somewhere else? In fact, I know this has happened to me, but do you ever hear this kind of phrase, sort of, knock, knock, is anyone there? So they know that you're present in body, but you're really not listening to them. So when you do this kind of exercise, it brings you back into the present. Another excellent exercise I've talked about throughout this whole year, and I talk about often, is walking in nature. Now, if you can't get out, you can still sit by a window and look at the clouds. If there's trees beside you, I feel again like a broken record. But when you watch nature or you take a walk in nature, and if you're lucky enough to have a pet, a dog that you can take, and I think Maggie was on earlier. I love seeing photos of their beautiful animals, and it gives you a different perspective on life. And when you're taking a walk, what I suggest you do is concentrate on each step. Don't go a walk on the beach or a walk outside or sit by the window looking at the clouds thinking, what am I going to have for tea? Am I going to go to the shops? Whatever. That's your mind racing. You need to just focus on one cloud. See what it's doing. Does it change shapes? I love it. Some shapes, people will actually post up photos and they'll say, I thought I saw a rabbit, the cloud in the shape of a rabbit. Perhaps it was like a clown or whatever. So focus on that. Be aware of nature around you. And you can actually say to yourself, your affirmation would be, I am grounded. This is the miracle of nature. Nature is wonderful. And just say, I feel good. I'm at peace. And of course, last by no means least is my tip that I always talk about. My tips is smile, love life and laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. And of course, what I'm going to do now is to finish off, I'm going to going to do my meditation, my Mind Bites meditation called A Safe Place. And if you want to join me, please do. We just do it. There are a couple of minutes, but again, you can make up your own, of course, as well. Or head off to my website, mindcircles.co.uk, and I've got Mind Bites meditation there. Because one of the things that I don't have when I'm doing them live is I've not got music. I add music to my mind bites, and we all know the power of music. In fact, I was just watching earlier, I think it's been on before, but the lady who's got dementia, but she was a ballerina, and then they played the Tchaikovsky music, and she started to remember everything, every movement she did. It was stunning. So the power of music really, it just focuses the mind, at least for me it does. And I love classical music, but all sorts of music, whatever. I think a quiet type of music though, for meditations. You don't want maybe the reggae music, that's for another time to keep you upbeat. So let's do the safe place. Now the safe place is, what can I say? It helps you let go of fear, helps you let go of anxiety, and it gives you, like all the meditation, gives you a little time out. So if we want to sit, of course, keep your back straight. So it gives you, not stiff, but just straight. It gives you that kind of positive posture and confidence. And put your feet on the ground, always ground it. And when it's summertime, sitting outside doing a meditation's wonderful. Not so good just now with it's cold, it's wet, it's dreich. But in your safe place, you can take yourself off to somewhere fabulous. So if you close your eyes now, close your eyes. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale through the mouth. Now imagine yourself in a place you like to be. This can be anywhere. Somewhere you like to sit or dream. Imagine your surroundings. All around you is quiet. You feel safe. This is your safe place. No one can enter this safe place unless you want them to. You are comfortable sitting there, just being there. You have no fears when you're there. You have no anxiety. Remember, it is your safe place. Remember this safe place in your mind. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale slowly through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose, and as you breathe in confidence. Feel the confidence flowing through your mind and body. As you exhale, slowly open your eyes. You are no longer afraid. You are no longer stressed. And say to yourself, I feel safe. I feel secure. I can concentrate without anxiety. And then you can just yawn, stretch, move around, just get yourself back into the present moment again. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that meditation. Please try and get the ABC to be your good habit. It really gets you through the tough times. And of course, what having you watching and listening inspires and motivates me. Now, I repeat again, please send me a message with a title for Wednesday. Doesn't necessarily have to be the title with the first letter of the word. In fact, I think, was it Isabel or was it Maggie? Somebody sent me last year and we did it. It was Wurlitzer Wednesday. My goodness, that was no, I think it was Margaret Bryan. Anyway, please send me a possible title for Wednesday and I'll try and match the topic to what the title says and fit in. But I will be back with the meditation. And have a fabulous day. And I hope that this has set you up for a fabulous day and week. Until Wednesday, virtual hugs to you all and keep smiling. Bye for now.